Rosa and her family moved to Montgomery, Alabama. There, she learned all about segregation. There, black people had to ride in the back of the bus, and they could only drink from certain water fountains labeled colored.
However, during that same time, there were many people, both black and white, who fought for civil rights. Civil rights are rights that go with being a citizen, like equal protection and respect under the law, and the right to vote.
It was difficult and dangerous for African American people to vote in the South. But even though it was difficult to do, Rosa Parks tried several times to register to vote. At first, the registrar made her take a test, but never told her the results. She took the test a second time. This time, they said she didn't pass. But Rosa didn't give up. She took the test a third time and finally did pass. Nothing would stop Rosa from her right as a citizen to vote. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks was on her way home from her job at a department store. She took the same bus she always took, but she didn't realize that the driver was the same one that had kicked her off the bus years before. After paying her fare, Rosa took a seat in the middle section of the bus. That was okay as long as there weren't any white people to occupy the seats. She sat next to a black man. 2 black women were sitting across the aisle. At the next stop, some white people got on and filled up the remaining seats. But one man was left standing. The driver looked back and saw him. Nobody moved.
Let me have those seats. Y'all better make a lot on yourselves and let me have those seats.
The 2 women sitting across the aisle and the man sitting next to Rosa got up. But Rosa didn't. She was tired of giving in and being mistreated.
Are you gonna move?
No.
Then I'll have to have you arrested.
You may do that. Eventually, 2 policemen came and asked Rosa why she wouldn't get up.
Why don't you do as you're told and get up?
Why do you all push us around?
I don't know, but the law is the law, and you're under arrest.
Rosa was arrested and taken to jail.
The NAACP had wanted to challenge the bus laws for many years. Now they had their opportunity. They called for all blacks to boycott or stop using the buses in Montgomery on the day of the trial to show support for Rosa. Inside the courthouse, Rosa had her trial. She was found guilty of not obeying the segregation laws. Outside, the boycott was successful. The buses were empty.
That night, black leaders along with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. formed the Montgomery Improvement Association. They held a meeting. Everyone at the meeting voted to continue the boycott if the city council did not change the segregated bus laws. The city didn't change the laws, so the boycott continued for another 13 months. Instead of riding the buses, people walked, took cabs, or shared rides. A lot of people lost their jobs, including Rosa and her husband. Then, the Montgomery City Council enforced an old law that said boycotts were illegal. So Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks were arrested. The arrest brought a lot of attention to the peaceful boycott. Soon, there were bus boycotts in cities throughout the South. Eventually, Rosa's case went all the way to the Supreme Court. The court decided that the law under which Rosa had been arrested was unconstitutional or illegal. Segregated buses became a thing of the past. 9 years later, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It made segregation in all public places illegal everywhere in America. It was now illegal to discriminate or show prejudice against anyone because of race, color, religion, nationality, or gender. Prejudice is a negative attitude towards an entire group of people.
Rosa's refusal to give up her seat on the bus had started protests throughout the country. Her courageous act of defiance helped to change America. Today, she is remembered as the mother of the modern-day civil rights movement.